Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel where we are actually going to get into a little bit of baseball right now. As this week, pitchers and catchers have reported to spring training, and that means the regular season opening day is right around the corner. And so today, I thought I'll take a look at some projections for the Milwaukee Brewers from Baseball Prospectus to see where they think the crew is going to end up, who our best players are going to be, whether or not I agree with them or not. So let's go ahead and get in with the projected standings. They actually think the Brewers have a high chance of winning the division with a pretty low 87 wins. Like looking at the both Centrals, they have both leaders not having that many wins, but they think the Brewers have a good shot, a 54% shot of winning the division, 67% chance of making the playoffs, which I like those odds. And so 4% of chance to win a World Series, I like that. So very high shot for the Brewers. And I think they are onto something. I do think that it's going to come down to Milwaukee and St. Louis. It is like it has been the past couple of years. And I don't know, I think it will be a while. I do think Milwaukee has done a lot to improve their roster. So I'm happy to see that they have done that. And speaking of the roster, let's go and take a look at their projected stats for the Brewers players. They expect us to have 15.9 WAR for pitchers and 19.6 for hitters. Let's go with our hitters and go by. So they actually think William Contreras is going to be a below average hitter with a 93 DRC, with a 227 batting average for 14 homers and 46 RBIs. I don't see that. I think he's going to continue having a good career. I think he's going to be very productive out of the Brewers catching position because I think he just has that much talent. I think they're really undervaluing him there. They actually think Caratini is going to be a better catcher than Contreras with a 232 batting average, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs, and 1.1 WAR. I don't agree with that. I think Contreras is going to have an incredible season for the Brewers, and I think they're really undervaluing him. Then we go into our second baseman, where we have rookie Bryce Terang, Abraham Toro, and Owen Miller. Not a lot of confidence in them, which makes sense because Terang is very young. Toro and Miller are more like backups. They got Terang hitting 230 for 4 home runs, 29 RBIs, and 12 stolen bases, which I think is very good, and a .4 WAR. Toro with 7 home runs, 27 RBIs, 3 steals, a .8 WAR on 239. And Owen Miller, 242 batting average, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. So interesting to see what happens there. And then they think Willy Adames is going to have a pretty big bounce back year, where he's going to hit 249 with 319 on base, which is higher than before, with 23 home runs, 79 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, 3.5 WAR. I think they're a little low on Adames. I think he's going to hit for a better average than he did last year and have about the same amount of home runs. So I think they're a little low on Adames, but still think he's going to be very, very productive. Rookie Garrett Mitchell in center field, they're projecting to struggle a bit because he did have a high strikeout percentage last year with a 206 batting average. But they think he's going to be electric on the base paths with 19 steals, highest projected on the team with 7 home runs and 40 RBIs. And other rookie, Sal Frelick, they expect to be called up this year and hit 247 with 2 home runs, 16 RBIs, 3 steals, which I see happening. Don't really know because like him and Terang, Mitchell, and all of them are up in the air mainly because the rookies, not really much data there, so we're interested to see. But they do think that Yelich is going to have a decent season. They think he's going to hit 242 with a 353 on base percentage with 17 home runs, 65 RBIs, and 14 steals. I think he's going to hit for a better average than projected. I really do. So be interesting to see how Yelich does. I do think it's going to be his best year since 2019, and this is projected to be there as well. Then Luis Urias, they expect to be a third baseman. They hit 238 with 15 home runs and 62 RBIs. Interesting to see how Urias does this year because he's going to be all over the infield, the second base, third base. We'll see what he does. Tyrone Taylor, they expect to have a decent year with 15 home runs, 54 RBIs, and a 234 batting average. Brian Anderson, our newly acquired utility player, they expect to have 9 home runs, 37 RBIs, and a 232 batting average. Joey Weimer, they expect to be called up with a 233 average, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. And Rowdy Tellez, they expect to have a decent season with a 242 batting average, which should go up from last year due to the banning of the shift, which it would be very, very good for Rowdy. Let's just say that. 23 home runs and 72 RBIs. Hopefully that is the case. And for Keston Hiura, they expected him to hit 209 with 10 home runs, 38 RBIs. Mike Brousseau, utility guy, 3 home runs. Whatever you get out of him is okay. And I think Justin Winker is going to have a pretty good campaign, hitting 250 with 15 home runs and 58 RBIs. Overall, I think they're kind of low on some players. Like, I think they're really low on William Contreras. I think they're low on Adames and Winker. But it'd be interesting to see how the Brewers do. Because I think the batters will definitely be better than last year and better than these projections. But let's go ahead and take a look at the pitchers, where they have Burns and Woodruff leading the pack, with Burns 12-8, which I don't really see, with a 2.49 ERA, 218 strikeouts. Woodruff 11-9. I think they're going to be 2.7 ERA. I think the win losses thing doesn't really matter, but ERA I think is accurate for both Burns and Woodruff. I think these are easily our 2 best players on this pitching staff. Eric Lauer 3.9 with 9 and 10, with I think is a good thing. And then Peralta, they expected him to have a big bounce back year, which I completely agree in having. That he's going to be back in it. Wade Miley is going to be innings eater, which I think is accurate. And then guys like Aaron Ashby, Adrian Hauser, these guys are going to be like maybe a 6 starter every once in a while, long relief in the bullpen on bullpen days, which I think it's accurate. Ethan Small and Jason Alexander, I don't really see Alexander being a part of the roster because he didn't play well last year. And then Ethan Small, interesting to see what we can just get out of him. Devin Williams, I do think is going to be incredible as our closer. Coming back from the hater with 35 saves. One of the most unhittable pitchers ever. Matt Bush, it'll be interesting to see what he does because he did get blown up a lot. They expected him to be a decent setup man. Same with Hobie Milner, which I like because Hobie Milner is really good. Peter Strzelecki was actually a surprise player in our bullpen. I'm looking forward to see what he can do again. They predict him to have a decent season as well. Jake Cousins will finally be back healthy, which I think will help our bullpen a lot. And then the rest of the guys, whatever you can get out of them is whatever. But overall, I think they're valuing the Brewers about right. I don't think we're an incredible team, but I do think we can contend for the division, which they have us doing that. I think they're undervaluing our batters a bit. Just my personal opinion. I'm expecting big things. But the pitching staff is about right, even though I think a couple guys are going to get more wins and losses than they are, mainly because the bats will be doing better. So overall, that's where I think I agree mostly with these projections. And I think that the Brewers have a good shot at making the playoffs again, and I hope they're able to do that because this might be one of our last chances with our core because Burns is not happy with the team after arbitration. Woodruff is like these guys are getting expensive, and we all know our front office doesn't like spending money. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I can't wait to get back in more week in brew views coming up. Spring training is coming around the corner, and I'm looking forward to see what they do. Till then, see you around.